Now, recently I've painted this, what I call the big boy. But what if I tried to paint this on a canvas that is 1/85th the size? That's a good question, and that's a question I'm going to try and answer in today's video. It is absolutely tiny. Now, when I painted the big boy, I thought it was like massive, but this just makes it look humongous. Granted, it is a tiny little canvas here. It's only 5 by 4 inches, but it is 1/85th the size of this big boy. So today, I'm going to try and paint as close to this big boy as I can on this. This is going to be an interesting experiment, so I guess we'll see where this takes us. Also, I just want to point out, I've changed my setup so that I can now sit and paint. You could almost go as far as saying I've got my setup set up. Alright, here it is. I've got my brush, which normally I would consider a very small brush, but it's pretty big on this canvas. And I think I'm just going to start by sketching out this thingy. Yep, that's right, that's a new painting term, thingy. And, oh my gosh. You know, what's funny is normally people use like projection devices to try and take something from a small scale onto a larger scale, but it's the exact opposite this time. Alright, now I just gotta paint some of the clouds, which took forever on the big boy, but it's gonna take like 5 seconds on this one. Alright, so I've got the sky done. It feels so weird to be doing a tiny stroke and still covering so much ground on the canvas. This is really a fun experiment. Like, I think a lot of people could learn a lot from this, me included. But yeah, just trying to get all of this in place is hard enough. Alright, it's dry now, and I have a much smaller brush, and I'm gonna just try and clean up some edges, make things more defined. Like, this is a wave that's starting to curl over, but I bet you probably couldn't tell because it was so bad before. This one had a bit of white water at the top, And normally I don't take pure white to the painting at the very beginning, but I figure this is already one of my final layers. So yeah, I can just for fun. So it's not like I have to try and make a masterpiece or anything. Okay, so I think it's time to paint the ships. So I've got my brush with the brown paint on it. That's way out of focus. I've got the brush with the brown paint on it, and this is not gonna go well, I can already tell, but I'm still gonna give it my best shot. So I have to like hold this painting or else I'll just like knock it over. All right, well, wish me luck. Well, there's that. It's really underwhelming, which isn't surprising because it's so tiny, but I think it's adorable, and I definitely learned just how hard it is to paint on a tiny canvas. So, yeah. Here, I'll put this up next to the big boy. Here it is. This little tiny nothing. 1/85th the size of this other big boy. And it goes right here. I'm proud of it. Not that I should be, but I am.